So it was kind of funny. On my trip, I've been moved through 3 or 4 different hotel rooms, and the second one I had was really interesting. You'd step into the bathroom, and there were 2 switches, one kind of like a kitchen timer, and it was another light bulb in the light and exhaust system in the roof, and it was right outside of the shower. So you would turn that timer to like how I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. You'd take your shower, you'd step out and stand under that special light bulb. And it felt like the heat lamps that your chips sit under in a Mexican restaurant. So it was kind of weird. Like I could only feel it. Yeah. I could only feel it like on the very top of my forehead.
I mean, you do have a pretty big forehead. It's pretty big.
It definitely felt weird feeling like a chip at a Mexican restaurant. Why buy a comic? You might get a surprise. Santa's coming soon, so you all better be nice.
Okay, so just addendum from last week when you 2 peasants went off script as hell without me.
Sorry, Dad.
Yeah. So I had one major thought that came out of that entire process. I enjoyed listening to it. My dad guest cameo, that was weird. But as I listened to you guys take a BuzzFeed quiz for 15 minutes,
word,
like a couple of 14-year-old depressed girls finding out what chip you are, I had one thought. You didn't take a lightsaber color quiz, you fucking peasants.
Right. No, that wasn't the thought. Although that was a really good question. Which color lightsaber would we have? The life thought, or the thought that you had was the one life fact that we didn't talk about. And
wait, what? I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, you corrected me on this, dude. You texted me while you were listening to the episode, and when we were talking about, life facts that we've learned and just want to announce to the world, Spencer, he was like a father, disciplining. He's like, you idiots didn't say that piss is stored in the balls.
Oh my word. You're so right. Why didn't we talk about that? Everyone knows that piss is stored in the balls, and that men standing up as we pee standing up.
I don't know about you, but I don't do both of those standing.
Yeah,
but
yeah, you do. I've seen you.
I standing up and I pee sitting down. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're right.
But yeah, you guys are talking about life facts. You're like, oh, that's one truth I've learned. It's like, pee is stored in the balls.
I forgot about that. I mean,
how do you forget about basic male anatomy?
Okay, so I learned that when I was 5, and then someone tried correcting me and saying that's not. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? I'm a dude. I know my piss is stored in my balls. I know this for a fact. Okay.
You were a very bright child, weren't you?
Dude, I was the smartest. Okay. Valedictorian right here.
You were the only one in your class
by default.
I feel
so
that.
Shall we news?
I had an honest correction though from 2 weeks ago when we were giving Spencer a hard time about how much money he would spend seeing the different versions of Justice League, regular IMAX, black and white IMAX. I wanted to correct myself by saying that I would go to the IMAX theater and see it black and white once. But after that, I would probably get it on disc and watch it several times because I've seen Logan in black and white several times. I freaking love that version. So the way I said it in a couple episodes ago sounded like I would only watch it in black and white once, and that is not true.
Fair enough.
You'd watch it 10 times.
This boy has so much integrity. He has to go back from 14 days ago and correct himself.
More like 25 days, but who's counting?
It was only 2 episodes ago.
Who's counting?
Me.
Right.
On to the news.
So we'll actually go over briefly some of the news from last week. You guys so cordially decided to skip for the memes. You're boring.
No
Yes. So we have an article from thehollywoodreporter.com. HBO is pressing play on a series adaptation of The Last of Us. That's a horrible pun. The premium cable outlet has picked up the drama based on the hugely popular video game franchise from Craig Mazin of Chernobyl and the game's writer and creative director Neil Druckmann, he's a boy, HBO and Sony Pictures TV are working alongside PlayStation Productions, Word Games, and game developer Naughty Dog.
Naughty Dog. Ooh.
Craig and Neil are visionaries in a league of their own, said HBO programming exclusive VP Francesca Orsi. With them at the helm alongside the incomparable Carolyn Strauss, the series is sure to resonate with both diehard fans of The Last of Us games and newcomers to this genre-defining saga. They're just zombies. It's not that genre-defining, but okay. We're delighted to partner with Naughty Dog, WordPress, Sony, and PlayStation to adapt this epic, powerfully immersive story, end quote. So...
the original game was pretty monumental because I'm pretty sure it was before Walking Dead was on TV. And
it was about the same time, I believe. It might have been like a year before.
Some of the same dramatic themes that the show has.
This is true.
So
speaking of Walking Dead, that's finally ending.
Really?
Thank
we're not
goodness.
talking about that.
So it was big in its day. Because there was nothing like it. It was groundbreaking. So
yes,
I think they're going to have a really hard time setting The Last of Us apart from Walking Dead.
Okay, so the original Last of Us came out in 2013, so that was 3 years after The Walking Dead started.
Yep.
But still valid. That was before zombies everybody was getting tired of them.
Oh yeah,
right.
Dude.
And it's definitely a different take on the zombie world. I enjoy both games. I know.
Of course you did.
Yeah, I know. It's subversive, thusly I like it.
I haven't finished the first one or played the second one.
I have a hard time playing those type of games.
That's fair. I'm a little bit of a sucker for those.
I'm more of a multiplayer person game.
Yeah.
I'm morbidly interested in the second one because of all the backlash about how violent it is. That sounds like something I'd be interested in.
So people had a problem with how violent it was?
No, I feel like the problem was with the narrative directions that people were really butthurt about.
Yeah, I felt
really?
I thought it was the narrative, not the violence.
I'm sure there's some really butthurt parents being like, "Oh my gosh, it's a zombie game! It's violent! It's rated mature."
Of course, most parents are upset about how violent video games are.
Maybe don't buy a mature-rated game for your 12-year-old or your 9-year-old.
Maybe pay attention to the ratings, you retard.
All right.
Concur.
There is space for that, but there were adults saying these are very gruesome kills. So if I died, I'd have to go and replay it. And if I was really, really stuck, it was getting kind of gross seeing the really gross, gruesome kill over and over and over again. So
get good at video games.
That's what I was going to say.
Stop sucking, okay? Get good like me.
Stop being a video game journalist and become a gamer.
Become a real pro gamer, you
Anyways, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically the third volume of Batman Year One is finally coming out from Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. I am hype. I really like those people in terms of their artistry, and I like the Batman Earth One stuff.
So is this the Batman with the light up bat symbol on his chest?
Don't
like
remember
an
if that's
oval.
a thing. It's an oval and it's a clothy suit, and Lucius makes all of his stuff.
His it's oval with the bat
Alfred's
symbol.
asshole, and it's great.
Oh yeah. Okay, so is that good to read?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Batman
so
Earth One is excellent stuff.
I should probably check it out. I've been wanting to, but I never really get myself to do it.
I'm going to try to go buy it sometime in the near future, so maybe wait 5 minutes.
All right, I'll just take it off of you then.
Yeah.
Because I don't have any room on my shelf at the moment.
Yeah, me neither, but I'm going to keep buying stuff anyway.
That's true. Keep doing it, big boy.
Oh, yeah. So this is supposed to be out by the end of the year. I'm not going to read the synopsis. That's a little unnecessary. Yay, more books.
More books!
Yay.
We do have some development on Deadpool 3. So from Variety.com, quote, Emmy-winning writers Lizzie Molyneux, I don't know how to pronounce the hyphenated part of her last name.
Where? Off Mexiplex. I don't Mixoplex. Who's the superhero?
Molyneux Llewellyn.
Mr. Mixopitalik. Off Mr. Mixopitalik.
It's Lizzie Molyneux Llewellyn.
Oh, that's how you say it. Okay. And Wendy Molyneux have been tapped to write Deadpool 3, with Ryan Reynolds set to return as the foul-mouthed mercenary. The Molyneux sisters are longtime writing partners known for their Emmy Award-winning work on Fox's Bob's Burgers. The pair will also have been nominated for 3 WGA awards and won an Annie Award in 2017. The Molyneux also serve as creators, showrunners, and executive producers on the animated comedy The Great North, which I didn't even hear of, honestly, until I read this. which earned a second season renewal ahead of its February 2021 premiere. That might be why. In addition to playing the wisecracking mercenary turned superhero Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool, Reynolds is also producing the film alongside Simon Kinberg and Laura Schuler-Donner, and he is reported to have been actively involved in choosing the Molyneux sisters to write the film's script, end quote.
So how many movies do you think they're going to make?
That's a good point.
Because usually, like, movies like these, they only get trilogies. I think Deadpool will probably go on like how John Wick might go on, where Keanu Reeves said he'll make as many as fans want.
In
Maybe
all
Deadpool will
honestly, I really wish John Wick had ended at 3, but that's a whole other point.
Yeah, I've heard that story before. Like, they said it about Mission Impossible, and that's still going. I think
Mission Impossible will actually be ending after the next 2 films. They did say they're doing these 2 back-to-back, and then they're done. Fast and Furious is also finally ending, which is great.
Right.
I have
but that one's gone on too long.
I have a total different opinion on John Wick than you do, but we should talk about that in another podcast.
New podcast, boys talking about, internet gods. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking just because it's Deadpool, it'll make money, and because
they
99%. Oh, yeah, of course. Because 99%, they're going to slightly tone it down, still leave it with an R rating, but like they're definitely going to tone it down to be a little less. Both of those movies, I love them, but they can get a little bit like, all right, this is enough.
I haven't seen the second one.
I like it more than the first one.
From what I can see,
same.
I'm like, oh, Deadpool got torn in half. I'm really liking this.
Yeah,
I didn't see it, but I saw that scene, but I haven't seen the movie. I'm like, I should probably watch this. Then I always forget.
I think the second one is better because they focused less on the raunch and had a more interesting story to tell.
See, I agree with half of that. I think the story is less interesting, but I do agree that they were not leaning quite as heavily into the raunch.
Like raunch for raunch's sake.
Yeah, there was a
the
bit
first
of that.
One did.
We've had that conversation for a few times, but
but we were never recording it, so here we are.
I do think that they'll probably just Deadpool, because we don't know how they're gonna handle the continuity moving forward. They're gonna be like, make the third movie entirely meta about being absorbed by Disney, which is my personal preference. Make it the most meta thing. He's fighting off waves of Mickey Mouses. I would love that. Like something like that. Make it stupidly meta and then just continue on like nothing ever happened.
Stupidly meta, so like season 4 of Rick and Morty.
Yes.
That's so stupid meta.
Just ignore all the other Fox X-Men stuff. Only keep Deadpool and his direct surrounding characters. Sadly, you have to get rid of Colossus and all them, but just keep him and his neighbor and Mr. Cab Driver, and then just act like nothing ever happened. So it's another really bad meta joke, and then they'll just continue on with however they're going to do it.
And
so they could probably go forever.
Please keep Domino.
She's fine, I guess.
But it's Zazie Beetz.
I enjoyed it in the movie. Like, it's fine, but that's what I mean is like that's where the continuity can get more confusing. Like if you just pluck him out, take him, the just Deadpool-centric characters, throw him in a portal, act like some weird boogaloo shit happened, and then now they're in the MCU, nothing ever happened, they don't realize what's going on.
Why would they have to get rid of Colossus?
Because he's an X-Men.
Yeah, Fox is in...
They're not in continuity, though, and 99% they're not going to be retconning anything in that fashion or, like, merging universes. They're going to start semi-fresh, if not, like, 100% fresh, minus Deadpool.
I think I have to censor out the word boogaloo.
Fair. I remember back when I actually thought it was going to be called Deadpool 2 Electric Boogaloo. I really wish they went with that. Untitled Deadpool sequel, Electric Boogaloo. That would be great. Anyways, so moving on from Deadpool. So that's last week's news. Something actually pretty sad from this week. David Prowse passed away at the age of 85. That sucks. It's a lot of people from original Star Wars are departing, and that's not fun.
I saw that on my Instagram. I was like, ooh, we only have like 3 left from the original cast. 4 from the original cast. Yeah, that plays C-3PO. We got Han Solo.
Anthony Daniels has said that he will do it as long as they're willing to pay him money. He will continue being involved in Star Wars, which is great.
That's good. So far, C-3PO and R2-D2 have been like in every single Star Wars movie.
Pretty much.
They were in Rogue One, too.
Yeah, I know. That one was solid. I was very glad.
I like how we didn't hear from them. We just saw them.
It felt a bit too on the nose, but I didn't mind their inclusion. I was more a fan of the fact that they name-dropped Hera in the background, but nobody really realized it unless you knew what you were looking for.
Yep.
Anywho, remember a while ago, it seemed to come to light that he did not have a great relationship with George Lucas after they had finished production. But
So,
it seems like he was on pretty good terms with Disney because he did go to some of the conventions recently.
If I'm correct, this guy that played Darth Vader, that did the body of Darth Vader.
Yeah, David Prowse was the body.
The reason why they had such a problem was that he thought that they were going to use his voice as Darth Vader.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem, and there's still beef going on.
Yeah.
There's been beef with that whole situation for decades.
Yeah, but he seemed to have come around, at least in terms of like fan interactions. He didn't.
Yeah, of course.
He did go to because he was kind of soft banned from conventions on George's count a few years ago. I remember that was made public. They're like, yeah, he's not allowed in Star Wars conventions anymore, which is really weird. That definitely seemed like George being petty, but
George is like that sometimes.
A little bit. But he did seem to have a pretty solid relationship with Disney. So may the force be with you. Man ran he worked out with Arnold. Like, it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Like, he was we know him as the guy inside the suit, but the man was a bodybuilder for a reason.
Yeah, he was also in Clockwork Orange.
Yeah,
he was in that.
Really good.
I haven't seen that. I just know what he's from.
Yeah, no, he was really good.
Respectable man.
Another thing that will be felt rippling throughout the galaxy. Moving on. I don't even remember where I got this from. I'm pretty sure it was just DC.com. Quote, for over 80 years, Batman has taught the world that there will always be a light in the darkness, a force for good, and that anyone, no matter how big or small, can be a hero. Batman's legacy throughout the world is truly exceptional. However, there is one city in the United States that really holds a special place in the Batman legacy, Burbank in sunny Southern California. Burbank is not only the headquarters of DC, but also the location of Warner Bros., the iconic studio that has brought to life numerous interpretations of the Dark Knight in film, television, and animation. In celebration of the Batman's 80th year of doing good, Visit Burbank has partnered with DC to create a one-of-a-kind, life-size bronze statue of Batman himself, which was recently unveiled in the busy downtown district of Burbank. The fine folks at Visit Burbank came to us saying that they wanted to do something fun and special that would be symbolic of the connection that the studio and DC has had with the city, said DC creative director Doug Prinzivali. We brainstormed a bit and decided that Batman would be the perfect character to welcome visitors to our great city. The design was chosen based off of a statue recently created by DC Direct, the in-house toy company of Warner Bros. The statue itself, originally created to be a 7-inch creation in the Batman black and white collectible line, is based on the art of Jim Lee, publisher and chief creative officer of DC, one of his most beloved and widely read graphic novels, Batman Hush, end quote. This statue is so sexy. It looks so good.
So it's still got the same Jim Lee bat face, I'm assuming.
Let me pull it up. I thought it looked really, really good. I also like the figure, but let me pull it up for you. I think the bronze actually fits really, really well, which is weird for Batman.
That's more of a realistic look.
A little bit, but it is literally just based off of a figure they've already made. But also, big bronze Batman.
I love that. That's so cool. When I heard about the bronze Batman statue, I was like, oh, it would be so cool if it was like the Batman statue from The Dark Knight Rises. That looks so badass.
Would be cool. That's the thing is, I still hate that suit, but that was a really cool statue in the movie.
I think the suit worked sometimes, but for the most part, I didn't really like it because it made him look way smaller than he was. Yeah, because that's just what black does. Yeah,
but I definitely think I know, Colin, don't get all butthurt about Jim Lee, but I do think utilizing arguably the most iconic Batman look of all time, whether it be across film and book, is probably a solid choice. If you're going to do one Batman statue somewhere, that's the most common picture people have seen.
I agree with you.
Yeah, it's way more timeless than doing like a movie-based one.
I don't think Jim Lee's art's entertaining in my taste, but like if you're going to introduce or just show Batman to any occasional person that just knows Batman, just do the most basic thing. Literally and Jim Lee's Batman is the most basic Batman that we have at this moment.
Kind of, yeah.
Which is fine. It's just not my taste.
Yeah. Florence Pugh is rumored to be reprising her role as Yelena Belanova in the Disney Plus Hawkeye series.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's not confirmed, but would be down.
Fan art of
course, there's always fan art 5 minutes after a thing happens. Always. There's always that one dude who's just sitting there in Photoshop waiting.
There's
also Boss Logic.
There's only 2 fan arts that I've ever liked, which is Nightwing with the long hair.
Yeah.
Nightwing with the long hair.
That was pretty solid.
That was so good. And also William Dafoe as Joker.
There's been some pretty solid ones with that.
I think that would be great as a Joker, like a Joker that's older than the Batman that we have. But we might want to discuss that some other time.
That is true. I was going to bring that up later. Jacob, have any thoughts on this?
No.
Cool. So this was pretty big news. WB's entire 2021 theatrical release slate will all be releasing simultaneously on HBO Max as they are getting released in theaters at no additional cost. So apparently the reaction to what Wonder Woman is doing was big enough that they said, we might just do this for everything, and this might be a viable way for us to make money.
So, Batman?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm gonna jizz my pants.
Yeah, all 17 of their theatrical releases will be getting done simultaneously. Colin looks excited.
I'm so excited for Batman. That's like this. I just love the look of this Batman. Okay,
just watch. Batman comes out, it gets delayed into 2022 and doesn't go to HBO.
No. It's actually already been delayed, but I guess you guys forgot about that.
No, it's been delayed, but we know it's going to get delayed again.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it. They said all the 2021 releases. I'm saying Batman will get pushed back to 2022 and won't go to HBO.
Batman's already been pushed to 2022.
Really?
Yeah. That was like a month ago.
Well,
I forgot about that.
But do you really want to be watching that for the first time on your phone?
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
You're retarded.
Not my phone, my TV, because I have HBO Max.
I watch it at my home at my own expense, and it's fine.
He can sit in just his underwears.
I don't have to wear a mask and go out in public and wear clothes when I'd rather wear underwear in my bed.
I'm sure you would prefer to
and
watch
have some Pringles chips all over my tummies.
Of course, you can't say much. I mean, I can't say much because that means that Justice League will also probably be getting done like that because we don't know if it's going to be released theatrically. So theoretically, if it does get released theatrically, it will also be launching at the same time, which means I can watch that on my phone with no clothes on. So
ceaselessly. Unending.
Yeah.
What did you do in 2021? I watched Justice League over and over and over again. I wore out 2 phones watching Justice League.
Okay. Well,
while wearing only one underwear, because a real man only wears his underwear, wears one pair of underwear until it disintegrates.
Dear Lord.
And we know
Preach, brother.
We know that Spencer is a real man.
No, I wear dental
real
floss. So yeah, it doesn't look like this is the plan for everything moving forward, judging by the reaction from like the rest of the film industry. But it seems like this is kind of a last ditch effort by WB to be like, we can't just delay everything indefinitely. We have things that are nearly done. So let's just shotgun blast it all over the place and try to recover some money from it. Because there are a lot of big movies coming out next year. Like big. Mm-hmm. So
like
we'll see.
Spencer's ass big?
No,
like Colin's ass big.
Fair. Yeah.
I think that's more thick, but
that's true.
I don't know whether that's a compliment or not.
I don't know either.
I got a fat ass, like PHAT fat.
Ooh, the PH is a lot.
Yeah, dude.
You got some cake.
Yeah.
So last bit of news, which I discovered when I came into the driveway, Oscar Isaac has also been tapped to play Solid Snake. Jacob, get excited.
Oh.
You came into the driveway?
I came in the driveway.
That's disgusting.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Hey, it's former Oscar Isaac. Don't blame me.
All right, that's fair.
But it confirms that the freaking Metal Gear Solid movie is actually moving forward. So, yay.
So you said that towards Jacob. Jacob, do you nut over Metal Gear Solid?
I have played a total of 20 minutes of anything Metal Gear or Metal Gear Solid.
That's what I thought, because I got a friend who
you got a guy?
I got a guy.
You got a buddy?
I got a buddy. Says that his favorite character to play in Smash is
says no.
His favorite character to play in Smash is Snake.
I love whenever you reference. You're like, I got a buddy. I'm like, I know it pretty much always is.
Want to come over and smash?
Yeah, dude, I got Smash now on my Nintendo
Me too.
Switch that I got from my good buddies.
We can
My-
put more Smash in your
My
bed.
brother just delivered it to me today, so
Ooh.
it's like downloading right now.
Wait. Do you have a Nintendo Switch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro,
So
do
you'll
you want to play Smash?
boy.
You want to come over and smash?
Dude, I would love to come over and Smash. who do you main? Who do you main?
I have no idea, dude. It's still downloading.
So I main Ness, Falcon, and Link.
Good for you.
I want to beat your ass tonight. We're gonna smash.
Oh,
Smash later
that
after
is
this
the end
podcast.
of the news. You know what I realized? We didn't do the intro.
Crap.
Welcome back to the Dime Comic Bros podcast, where three jackasses try to remember how to do their jobs.
We're like some of those
I know. That's why I heard you.
we're
Welcome
like
back to the Dime Comic Bros podcast, where we're three new dudes talking about comics and jacking each other off. Because we forgot to do the intro.
we're like one of those TV cop shows that changes when the intro plays. So like sometimes it's 30 seconds in, and other times it's like 30 minutes into a 45-minute episode. You're like, boom, title card. It's like, we're almost done. We're about to find out who the killer is.
Yeah.
That's what we are right now. Dime Comic Bros podcast. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, longtime listeners especially will care. We are changing the rules for ourselves and for the show. Usually we would talk about what we all had been reading for comics, and then we would have a different segment for what we have been watching, which would be general interest. And every once in a while, one of us would mention a cool video game that we've been playing. We are going to merge those three things together. 3 is the magic number for this.
Dare I say interlinked?
Interlinked.
Oh, for frick's sake. We're going to mix those 3 topics together, reading, watching, and playing. And each of us, 3 news dudes, are going to have 3 talking points, 3 open mic segments of the show to talk about what we have been doing with our poor, secluded, single, miserable lives. Oh no, that's just me.
That's just you.
And we have some special rules to go with it. If one guy, has a really bad week and has only read one thing, then the other 2 can fight over his free 2 talking points, and we'll mix it up as time goes on. But for the most part, the 3 of us are going to aim for 3 talking segments per person. So with all of that out of the way,
I was going to say, before I go on to that, you said where we're going to be aiming. So are we aiming like center bowl, like asserting dominance? Or are we aiming for the
never.
side?
Are we trying to be
Silenced.
quiet, or are we
Stealth
trying to
mode,
get like the
far
whole
left or far right,
Okay.
just above the waterline.
Gotcha.
But you
Stealth
have
mode.
to be careful with that, because
Hmm.
It splashes harder.
no. If you've been imbibing a little bit, it's a little harder to aim inside the bowl and outside of the bowl. So you got to be
This is
careful
true.
with stealth mode.
He's not wrong.
So I find it better sometimes to go for the far reaches of the bowl right above the water line. It's still stealth mode, but it's
Yeah.
not
So
center
And you
bowl.
can't go with the close end at the water line because it
No.
will just splash
Okay,
upwards
so-
and hit your
right,
leg.
you'll
here's
piss
how
on
I
your toes.
imagine he pisses. I imagine that he goes off to the left side and then he squats down a little bit, takes his dick out. He aims it for that like under lip of the toilet rim, just around there, so that splashes, but doesn't splash too much up. It splashes to the left and to the right.
We
And
call that the
trickles down.
janitor.
We call that the janitor there.
You're
Oh my
spraying off the crud that the janitor missed.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. None
You're
of that
cleaning
bleach.
the
We don't
bowl,
need
really.
that. We
It's a
got
public
our
service.
pristine piss buddies.
Right. It's a public service.
Hey,
Our little yellow friends. You know.
you need to drink more water.
Probably.
So I watched Ready Player One.
Mm,
I have some mixed feelings. Not gonna lie. I'm
VR, right?
kinda, yeah. So I really liked the book. I didn't read it when it was popular. I wasn't a hipster. I read it somewhat recently. I did like the book. It was pretty solid. I enjoyed the more careful nostalgia baiting of the book versus the movie, which has really good special effects and some pretty solid performances, but it can't keep the nostalgia bait from overwhelming the viewer to the point of annoyance. At least for me, it's just too much from too many periods of time and too many genres. Everything is an Easter egg.
Yep.
Like literally, like I understand wanting to utilize as many licensed properties as you can, and you can make it a thing, and it's part of the world. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yep.
But I swear there is not a single thing that's original aside from the basic concept. Like everything you can think of,
The
that
movie?
like the stuff that they interact with, almost none of it is original to the even the novel. It's just repurposed stuff, which is the point. It's just when you watch it, it's so overwhelming and differs in tone. Like there's a section where they go to freaking the overlook. There we go.
Yep.
From The Shining, and you have a horror segment. It's like, what the in the book it works a lot better versus in the movie. It's like, this is so
Right.
it's weird. The tone clashes all over the place, and when you're watching it, it doesn't feel right.
It just doesn't feel like a steady movie.
No.
I saw it once and I felt that it was trying to play towards a generic audience. It had broad gaming references, which isn't true. There are, deep, complicated gamer notes, or like if you are a gamer, there are things there for you, but it's like an a movie full of Easter eggs. It's like the more complex actual gamer notes are just buried in other Easter eggs.
Right. So
It's tough to pick out the gold Easter eggs out of all of them.
That's a good way to put it, because reading the book, there's only so much information that's being presented to you, but when it's being visually presented to you, it's just they take every advantage to kind of dumb down the references, and that way, I guess, is to hit a much more mainstream audience.
Right.
Most of the things are the same, but what they add in addition to is a lot more normal nostalgia bait things that most people understand, which is, you make sense for doing a movie adaptation, but it loses what made the book actually kind of work, because it was a pretty, not niche, but it was a very focused period of time of nostalgia, and it made a lot of sense, versus the movie does spread out a lot more, and it just doesn't feel right. Colin, what have you been up to?
So, I've watched season 3 of Sword Art Online, which I've been waiting for a while.
I thought you were going to say season 3 of Titans. I was like, dang, you watched season 1 like 2 weeks ago. That was fast.
No, I actually kind of stopped watching that.
Nice.
Good for you. I'm proud of you, son.
Did you get better taste?
Well, no, of course not. I mean, I'm still watching it. It's just like season 2 got so much worse.
You just really like
acting of season.
Oh, it's horrible.
Season 2 acting is so much, especially Raven. Raven annoys the living shit out of me. The actress is so bad. I'm sorry, but you're really bad.
I would definitely claim it's a problem of directing and writing, not really the performances, but that's an opinion. You just really like watching Nightwing, Booty. That's really what it is.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I haven't even seen
And
Nightwing
Peener.
yet. It's just been like, who are you? And he's like, that's a good question. I'm
I
like,
don't
oh
know.
my
I have
word.
angsty dad problems.
Angsty dad problems where my dad is like way older than he should be.
Yeah, it's a little much.
Dude,
but
the actor for Batman's so bad. But anyway, I'm so off track. Sort of online.
you mean hallucination Batman? Because that makes sense. Anyway, sorry. Moving on. Titans is my big red button you don't hit.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
pretty
I
shit,
hit that
but
all the time.
I'll hit your good button.
Whoa, boy.
Anyway, so I was watching Sword Art Online 3, season 3. I'm trying to look for the release date, and because I know it came out on this year, 2020 on Netflix, but I think it was made a year or two ago, somewhere like Crunchyroll or wherever it was released, Japan.
Yeah.
One
of those.
but like
Japanese
English
places.
dub, because I watch an English dub. Some animes I'll watch regular, like sub, but this one I started dub, so I'm gonna finish it dub. I watched season 3, and it's cool because the whole point of Sword Art Online is that it's like video game based, but it's like the center of it is finding the difference between reality and video game VR, because it's such in-depth VR that you feel certain pain.
Ooh.
But they also did a spin-off called Gun Gale Online, because of season 2 Gun Gale Online, which I'll talk about some other time, but that goes more into that whole aspect of real life versus the video game. But in season 3, it goes off of the human soul that they call floodlight. And I don't know if that's referencing anything, new word. But anyway, it's cool because they like trying to figure out VR, and not try to figure out VR, but they're trying to figure out AI, how to make like the perfect AI for making war machines.
Make her blue, give her short cropped hair.
Oh my word.
And make her nude.
No Halo. Shut the up.
Yes,
Is she
Halo.
really nude though? Because she has
Yes.
those dark lines over select parts of her body.
She is Cortana
Kinda
is nude.
imitate-
It is canon. I
Come
can bring up the
on.
book references. It's canon.
Prove it.
I will email you as soon as we're done recording.
Nice.
Don't smack talk my waifu.
If you had any waifu, of course it would be that waifu.
Yep.
I have another thing to talk about anime after this, but
Oh.
onto this.
Boy.
It talks about like this company called Wrath is trying to make this AI, but instead of doing it from top to bottom, they're trying ground up. So top to bottom meaning like AIs have to learn things to understand things. You can get to a certain point, but they can't decide things for themselves. They can only go off of rules given, where they're trying to make an AI that can decide for itself.
So it's literally the difference between a smart and a dumb AI that we still haven't really hit yet.
Pretty much, but it's used for military purposes, and the main character has gotten counter from a bad guy from season 1 in real life this time, and he got hit with this poison by this character while he was trying to defend his girlfriend, and our main character is having severe brain damage, and he can't be taken care of by regular hospital, so he has to go to Wrath, which he was already working with Wrath before. So the whole point is trying to save main character Kirito and discovering how to make this AI decide for itself. And it leaves off on a horrible cliffhanger of if Kirito survives or not. Which obviously, if they're going to make money, he's going to survive. But it was just awful to watch.
So you said he has a lot of brain damage, right?
Yep. Besides being an anime character.
Fair. Does he have a tattoo of it on his forehead?
No, you can't see his face, his real life face, because it's under this giant machine.
Oh, that's disappointing. I'm a really big fan of writing damaged on foreheads.
Of course you are. I know.
I know.
I thought you were
Okay,
making an
so-
anime reference because so many characters, like when they're like
No.
cursed or whatever, they have a
They do.
tattoo
It is
on their
really
face.
weird.
Anyway, but the cool thing about this is that like, so 1 week in that world is 100 years. So in real life, the whole thing's taking place in 2 days.
Nice.
Or when he gets stuck in that VR because of his brain damage, that whole thing is in 2 days. While for him, it was 2 years.
Nice.
Maybe 2 days, but it might have been 1 day, but it's hard to tell. But
Yeah.
he's in this world for 2 years.
Wacky.
To try to cut off from droning on, I don't think it's a good season considering how Sword Art Online has worked, because it's focused on just the main character instead of the main character with Asuna and their like AI child Yui. But that's my
Yui,
preference. Yeah, her name's Yui.
not Owu.
No, shut the f-
Sorry, Uwu.
It's an all right season. I mean, I know you guys have like nothing to talk about on this because you're not.
I hadn't even
weebs.
heard of this, so no.
It was my first anime, Sword Art Online.
I have heard of it. I've seen the title around a lot, but I've gone, ugh, anime.
It's good. I like anime.
We know. Jacob, what have you been up to?
All right, this one is going to be rough because I read it like 2.5 weeks ago and I didn't write any notes like an idiot. So
Well, Colin does seem to like it rough by his own mouth, so
I don't write notes.
of course you don't.
I read Moon Knight Volume 3.
You beat me.
Thank you. I think it was a different artist yet again for Volume 3, but I'm not sure because it was 2.5 weeks ago. Colin's getting up to the bookshelf to fact check me. I think it was a different writer as well.
Sorry.
Both of which I'm
We
not
got-
sure about.
we
I
got
could be
Byrne.
talking out my ass.
And Atkins, Peralta. They are different from the original, the other three. Or other
Nailed
two.
it. Nailed it. I freaking told you. Anyway, they had a decent story that should have been so much more for this volume. It like had a big build up and then kind of fizzled at the end. And I was like, oh, that's how the season ends? Or this
Sounds like me last night.
Hmm.
a great build up and then kind of fizzled out.
Yeah, a little bit.
So yeah, the story should have been so much more. I was very upset the day of reading it, but looking back, I was like, it was fine. It was. I think the tough part too was that volume 2 was really, really good, and then volume 3 was like should have been better and wasn't. So
I like how
And-
the Dark Knight trilogy went.
Oh, you're kind of right though. So a little bit right.
I liked Dark Knight 3. But
Well, yeah, I liked it, but it should have been better.
I do agree.
I've only read it once.
Away from Batman.
Oh, talking about the Dark Knight trilogy, like
Yeah.
Nolan. not the-
Oh, gotcha.
Oh.
oh,
Oh, Jacob was talking about the wrong thing.
yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
heard him.
No,
Weird.
I was thinking Return
Knight.
Strikes Again, Master Race.
Nice. No, the middle of that one is objectively the worst.
Oh,
Fuck,
yeah.
it's the best.
No,
But I was saying I like the third one as well.
it's not bad.
But anyway, we're not talking Batman here. We're
We'll
talking
talk about Frank Miller later.
Moon Knight.
Knight. Yeah, that was pretty much it. It should have been better. It was kind of a disappointment.
There are more Moon Knights after that follow along that story.
Yeah, so I
After
got
that first-
Marvel Comics subscription online, and I have
Ooh.
more Moon Knight in my library just waiting.
Is it like what's
me.
what's the title?
I don't freaking know.
I think it's yep.
There's a couple of them.
Lunatic, and then the second one's Reincarnations.
It comes in singles, so
Yep.
online.
Apparently, you come in singles as well. So I read the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker novelization.
Why do you hate yourself?
I actually enjoy it much more as a book.
Actually,
So
Of course you would.
I mean, yeah, so it's based off of the script that they shot. So it includes basically all of a large amount of deleted scenes and additional details. Like usually when the new movie novelizations come out, there are some more canon details that are added that were either cut from the movie or just like background things you don't realize in the movie but are mentioned specifically in the book. So I enjoy the fact that there are more details. It's slightly more fleshed out. It makes a little bit more sense. The dialogue is a bit improved. It's based on the script. It's mostly based off of the script, but there's a little bit here and there that's different. The dialogue is a little bit more polished. It's still broken. It still has broken concepts. It's still structured like shit, but it is an improvement. It goes from being like a 4.5 out of 10 to like a 6.
Oh,
It's
that's a significant increase.
mediocre, but I can read it again.
Okay.
One of the lowest tier Star Wars books I've written, but I will say that Ray Carson, the author, did a very good job with what she had to work with. Like in terms of the stuff that she was able to write, it is pretty freaking solid. She is one of their newest authors who's getting a lot of work, and she's really good. It's just she got the blunt end of the stick on that one. Just here, you adapt the worst script we have that was rewritten 50,000 times, and also the worst movie everyone kind of hates. Here. And with that, she did make something that's at least enjoyable. So
I'm
that's
so
something.
proud of you for using numbers.
I hate doing it, but I did just for the sake of quantifying the unquantifiable for Jacob's sake.
And that's quantum physics for you guys.
So does it
Actually, quantum
still...
physics forbids this.
I'm dumb.
That's an old meme.
So does it still try to retcon everything?
Oh yeah,
from-
it's canon. So the book, the adaptation, it's basically the extended edition. Like that's what most of the novelizations say in the title. So that is the canon version. So if it's something that is in the book but not in the movie, it is canon. It did happen. Like say with The Force Awakens, Unkar Plutt's arm actually got ripped off by Chewbacca because he followed the band of our merry heroes to Maz Kanata's castle. There is a deleted scene. You can find it. It's not totally finished, but it's in the book. It is canon. It did happen. It's just not shown in the movie. So like there are minor things like that. Some more descriptive ideas, like it describes Palpatine in more detail and like how it's not just somehow Palpatine has returned, please kill me. It's a little bit more than that. It's not a lot, but it is more information, which in my book is usually good.
Get it in your book.
Yeah, you get it. You get it. Colin, what else have you been doing?
I started reading Neon Genesis Evangelion Omnibus 1,
Ooh.
which includes manga 1, 2, and 3. And I'm not finished, but so far it's basically the same as like probably 6 episodes or 7 episodes.
So I'm assuming the anime is an adaptation of the manga.
So what happened was because of deadlines and because of having Neon Genesis Evangelion has had such a bad problem with having to like extend when its release date.
Yeah.
So the manga was supposed to come out first, but the anime did.
Oh.
And so then the manga came out shortly after. I don't know how many years, months, whatever, but there's difference in certain scenes.
That's weird.
It's minor. So like there's this one scene where Shinji, the main character, he just says like I mustn't run away for like so long, because there's scenes in Neon Genesis Evangelion, they're just so long. He doesn't do that in the book, and there's certain things that you see in the book but you don't see in the anime, and vice versa.
So which version is canon?
All of it's canon.
Okay, it's a mixed media thingamajiggy.
What it is Neon Genesis Evangelion has to do with time travel and dimensions, but they don't. No, but they don't travel in time. It's just that everything resets, or it's a different dimension.
You tried to describe that, and we were both like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I gotta read this myself.
You have to watch. So watch the one on Netflix. Then I'll let you borrow the movies. The 4th one hasn't come out yet. Technically, the movies are sequels.
Yeah,
but they're also rewrites.
Right.
Technically, there are somehow 20 different timelines, but you only get to see the ones in the movies, the anime, and the books.
I am 6 parallel worlds ahead of you.
Doesn't mean it's good, but it is entertaining. It doesn't mean that the way how it does it is good. Nonetheless, it is entertaining, and you get to figure out different characters' cup sizes for some reason because it's anime.
Okay.
There's a picture of Misato, and it said there's like arrows pointed to her. I think I said this in the last podcast, but there's arrows pointed to her saying drunk, the type of beer she's drinking. There's her pet penguin called Pen Pen, and then there's randomly her cup size.
That's really weird.
Which is a C, if anyone wanted to know.
I didn't. That's a little weird.
It is. It's anime. It's weird.
Solid size. Continuing.
It's entertaining. It's cool.
That's weird. See, I'm gonna have to wait a while because I need to read Ghost in the Shell, the first 3, the 3 books, which I'm loaning from Jacob while he's gone. I have to finish those first, and I will not be able to do that much manga in a short amount of time. That does have to get spread out. I might be left-handed, but I still read American, so it'll take me a little bit.
That's for some reason I adapted very well. It was not hard for me at all.
Interesting.
I'm trying to read 2 different events with timelines and freaking comic lines crisscrossing over each other, so I do not have the brain capacity to read.
Well, it's not
Chroma, Exodus.
It's not like that though.
Ganglion.
You can all read them individually and call them each their own canon. It's not like it crosses over.
That's weird.
But you watch the anime on
I'm getting
on
to
Netflix
it.
First.
It's on my list. Okay.
I'm just saying, order that you should watch it is that.
Okay. It's noted. Jacob, what's up?
I watched Blood of Zeus, which is a Netflix anime special.
Oh.
It's a lot of Greek mythology, so you're gonna, in a lot of reviews, you're gonna hear comparisons to like Clash of the Titans. It feels very much like either of those movies, the original or the remake. It's just got the Greek mythology feel to it. It's rated TV mature, which was kind of weird to me. I mean, there are a couple of violent scenes, but it wasn't all that bad as far as I could tell. I almost didn't watch it because the first episode has clear, like, unforgivable cheats on the animation. Like,
Oof.
you see like a shot of people in a market and you hear them walking around and talking and nothing's moving. And it just stays there for like 5 seconds. It's like, come on. Or like one person would be talking inside of a busy market and like it's just their mouth moving, even though you hear everybody else kind of murmuring in the background and nothing else is moving. It's just that one person's mouth. But besides that, there are some really good action scenes, and I'm glad I stuck with it, even though they cheated on the first episode. There's a lot of action, a lot of fighting, some good, just battle sequences, a chase sequence or two, and the
cheese.
Yeah, and the story is very twisty. There's a lot of betrayals.
And that is pretty Greek.
Yeah.
Oh no,
was
Zeus somebody else?
That's
kinda
the
what he
premise.
It's kind of what he does.
There were a couple of repeat twists, so it was like you'd find out something and it'd be revealed and it'd be like dun dun dun, and you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming, whoa! And then it would go to like a different branch of the story, and they would find out, and it would be like dun dun dun, and you're like, yeah, we just found this out.
So it's like when someone gives you
crickets?
second purple nurple, you don't feel it as much as the first one.
That's an extreme example.
That out.
No. Jeez. If we had on-screen captions, it would just be gay kerfuffle.
So I'm glad I stuck with it. I think it was only like 8 episodes, and they're 20 minutes each. So
Oh, that's
Short.
not that bad.
right, short, sweet, kind of beginner anime. I don't think it should even be called anime. It's more of an adult cartoon.
Ooh.
Yes, I would agree with you on that because I saw some of that, and I don't think it's a good starter anime. So I'm going to disagree with you on that.
Uh-oh.
I think a good starter anime is SAO.
Well,
Fair.
my point is that it doesn't even seem like anime. It's more of an adult cartoon. So if you're gonna call it anime, it's easier to view because it's really a cartoon. But I don't know,
Yeah.
semantics.
Oh, on the discussion of what's anime and what's not, you probably know this, but did you know that George Lucas considers the Clone Wars series as anime?
Mm-hmm.
It's designed for anime style.
It is. It's very, very, very heavily influenced by it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't
So
take
you're a
off-
f***ing weeb.
Yeah.
F***ing weeb.
Yeah.
You don't call me a weeb then.
King shit.
King shit. You gonna take one?
Spencer, what is your last talking point?
This is the thing I was really excited about. I watched the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special.
I've seen clips of that.
I love it.
Hello there.
Yeah. So basically, I'm going to give a plot synopsis. Basically, it's set after the events of the sequel trilogy. So Rey has a yellow lightsaber, Kylo Ren's dead, blah blah blah. Leia's dead, rest in peace. Like it's kind of like the original holiday special. They're preparing for Chewie's relatives to come over for Life Day. And they're doing cooking preparations and stuff. And Rey's like, I can't train Finn because I'm a teacher or whatever. She can't concentrate and he's hard to teach and blah, blah, blah. She gets all
He's
frustrated.
getting taught how to use the Force?
Lightsaber mostly, but same.
So
she can't.
Is she Force sensitive?
Yeah, that's canon. That's canon in the regular universe, dum dum.
They never talked about that.
Yeah, they did multiple times.
Yeah.
Anyway,
In the movie?
yes,
Yes.
you're dumb. But at least with a movie like that, it's okay to have blocked out things. Very fair. Anyways,
I'll have to rewatch it.
so she gets frustrated and is like, I gotta go on this quest. You guys finish getting ready for the party. I'll be back. And it's basically she finds this weird crystal thing that lets her travel through time and space. So she visits different master and apprentice pairings. So she pops in on Dagobah and visits freaking Luke and Yoda, and she talks to Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and all that stuff. She bumps into Palpatine and Vader, and then Palpatine sends Vader to find her and, get the girl and give me the thing because it's power, because it's Palpatine. So he's just power.
Yep.
It's really, really silly. They bump into Kylo Ren. There's shenanigans. But basically, so in the end, she learns the lesson of you need to be friends with your student as well, is the thing that she wasn't really doing, was because she was basically trying to separate her being friends with Finn from her teaching Finn. And in reality, she has to visit all these other... it's a holiday movie. It's about the power of friendship, clearly. But, she visits all these different pairings, like Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. Like, they riff. They have fun. Obi-Wan and Anakin. Need I say more? Like, they're friends and master and apprentice. So she's like,
I didn't realize that till now.
Yeah.
That's a good way.
It's actually really thematically potent. I was really impressed. Like, this is better than episode 9 by like leagues.
I guess I'll watch it.
Really do. It's only like 45 minutes.
Easy.
So that's the synopsis. My actual thoughts. Somehow a Lego short movie based primarily after the events of the Star Wars saga is more thematically cohesive and self-aware than the entirety of The Rise of Skywalker. The animation is crisp and detailed, but it did feel as though the entire movie was on 120% speed, probably to keep the attention of the younger target demographic, or like it just kind of felt long when they did it. So it quite literally feels like they just turned up the speed a little bbit, because the gags go by so quickly that you don't have time to laugh. Half of them you don't realize were gags. Like it's that part's really frustrating, because I think a lot of the jokes are excellent. They reference all of the memes, and it's awesome. So that causes a lot of the visual gags to be brushed past without time to laugh or even recognize that it happened. But beyond that, like, solid 7 out of 10.
All right.
It's pretty good. Like, it's clearly not in canon. It's goofy. There's time travel. There's space travel. But it has enough fun with it. I wouldn't say it's very uniquely Lego. Like, the visual comedy's pretty Lego, but the rest of it's like, I'd be okay telling this in live action, honestly. With how silly Star Wars is, it kind of still fits. So
It kind of reminds me of Rebels when they did that little time travel. It was like magic travel.
Yes, that's a whole other plot point. But like, that is way more serious than this is.
Yeah,
and it's still in Rebels. Like, Rebels does stuff really serious.
I'm just saying, like, Rebels is just silly in general.
That's what I mean. It's like Star Wars is silly. Mandalorian, we have frog people.
That reminded me of
cute frog
Spencer
lady.
and his future wife.
Yes, exactly. So it's like Star Wars is silly. And in this sense, I'm like, I could see most of this translating to live action. It's not super Lego, but whatever. So
I can see that.
I actually really recommend this. Like, this is a very good Star Wars, like, I do still like Star Wars. We're not like it's like this is what I remember liking. It references all the stupid things and the silly things and the memes, and it's dumb, but it's okay being dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And the voice acting is pretty freaking solid. Anyways, moving on from
Sounds
that.
like my life. It's dumb. It's okay with being dumb, but the voice acting is solid.
Nice.
Oh, dude, that's perfect description
that's-
of your life.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
also want to call out, I see through your lies and deceptions and how many subtle references to your favorite Star Wars book, Master and Apprentice, you included in that review.
Oh, I didn't. What a gremlin. You're just a goblin.
That was actually unintentional.
Bull crap.
Yeah.
You reference all the time. You reference everything all the time.
Maybe.
You definitely said it twice, if not thrice.
Anyways, go watch it. And yes, read that book. That's like the best Star Wars book. Anyways, Colin, have you been up to anything else?
I think I watched something else.
But you don't remember, do you?
I don't remember.
Nice.
That's
Big
why
leap.
you should write notes.
That's true. I'll try. I'm not good at trying, but yep.
All right, so
Do or do not.
There is no try.
There we go. Moving on. Jacob.
this one's kind of difficult. I have been spending a lot of time trying to catch up on the Jason Aaron Thor run.
Ooh.
So I read a literal butt ton of it back in April during my quarantine. I read like, I don't even know how many hundreds of issues. I finished somewhere at the end of Mighty Thor, So I read the last couple of those, and that's when Jane Foster is carrying the hammer because Thor is unworthy. Oops, mega spoiler. But anyway,
Fucking cuck.
No.
wow.
Read
and
it,
then-
Colin. It's like the best Thor ever's.
I've never read any Thor.
It's so metal. It's beautiful. Okay, really quick sidebar. I was talking to Rich over at Jetpack about this. Why is everything metal these days? It's beautiful, but both DC and Marvel are insanely metal focused right now.
Yep.
We have literal death metal going on at DC, and Marvel is all the Thor and Venom and the King in Black stuff going on right now. It's all stupidly metal.
What do you mean by metal?
Like metal, as in like it's metal, like not just music, but like metal culture.
So like Stick cutting off his hand just to get away.
It's a little metal, a little
pretty
bit, but I
metal.
mean like metal, like.
Like
But then it's like all comics are doing right now, and it's freaking sweet. It's just really weird.
all right.
It
Continue.
is a good time to be a metalhead. So anyway,
Yes. We're mainstream, guys.
moving on from Mighty Thor, I read the At the Gates of Valhalla special, and then Thor, just THOR, all caps 1 through 9, which is where I had to stop because that is where War of the Realms starts.
Yeah, baby.
So Mighty Thor is awesome in art and story, and the movies will never match the Jason Aaron run from all the way back to #1 up to this point. It's
Yeah.
just so good.
You have the War of the Realms omnibus, right?
It is in the mail, being walked barefooted across China, but it will arrive at my house at some point.
Sweet. I'm gonna definitely swing by and steal it.
Not until I finish it. You will have to come to my undisclosed location to get it.
I know people.
I know.
Valhalla was a one-off special. It was basically twisting a couple of threads together to tease and announce War of the Realms. Thor, I was having a really hard time with the first, I think, 5 issues. Maybe it was 4,
Had a
because
couple issues.
the
Yeah.
artwork sucked. I actually took screenshots to send so that we could have live reactions. Here we go. So I just sent a screenshot of a good example of the kind of bad art to the boys, and as their internet is downloading it, it looked like it was made with mostly markers to draw the lines and then chalk in between. It's got a lot of swirly that are unnecessary and just very, very soft lines. I didn't like it.
That's really weird. It looks like it wasn't inked.
Right.
Yeah, that happens. That's
It also looks really cloudy through 4 issues.
Low key
It's-
looks like it was colored with crayon. No offense to
Yeah.
whoever did this,
it-
but that
it-
panel is really rough.
yeah, exactly. That's how these 4 issues looked.
Ugh.
It was-
you know what's funny?
Colin likes it, doesn't he?
There are not, this whole panel is bad. Not this whole page is bad. There are definitely points to it. So its fades are bad because I see that it's trying to give depth to the background, but not obscure the pinnacle points. And what it did was this artist, probably without knowing, did a triangular formation of characters, which is like an art thing to do.
Triangle.
Yeah, just make it look good. There's triangle, square, circle, diamonds, and then of
Yeah.
course the perfect shell. So there's this like weird looking energy firebolt thing. If you see right there,
Yeah,
you probably see that.
I can see it.
That is poorly done and not finished, and I can see that one being bad. But some of these I don't see as terrible. Proportions look good. Coloring
Is
semi all right.
it's odd.
I think proportions are done very well. So your guys' definition is different from mine because mine mainly
It's
is
not very appealing to look at. Bottom line,
the thing I like a lot is the skull guy with
that I
like
do agree.
a
That
mace
kind of
looking
looks like a
thing.
Mike-esque skull.
yeah,
It's
that's
like
why
the
that's
teeth.
yeah, like his formation.
That's a chick, by the way. That's Cinder.
Okay, I like her.
Of course you do.
But that doesn't look bad. Proportions are great. Usually
It's
my
just-
problem is proportions. If proportions aren't done right, it's shit no matter what. The coloring I can probably agree with though.
It's very, very soft. There aren't hard lines. It felt like it was drawn in crayon or marker and then just filled in with chalk. It's not good to look at.
I'm okay with that.
Thought it was kind of ugly. And there were also really bright colors too. So
Is that supposed to be are those supposed to be eyes? The yellow? Is the like yellow circle things?
If you
On
can't
her
tell what it
face?
is, that's a problem.
Well, no, I mean, what I'm saying is that looks like a giant spider formation to me. And I can't tell if it's just like background noise.
it's just background noise.
Okay.
I think those are rocks that she's lobbing.
Oh, and I see. Okay, so like there's this part right here. The viewers can't see it. Well, I gotta post it somewhere, probably story. But so there's these like little fuzzy looking areas, and what it's supposed to do is like it's supposed to be almost 3D, where those fuzzy stuff is out of focus from the camera and is getting closer to you.
I don't know. I didn't like it. I'm glad it ended with the 4th issue because it went back to more regular art that I could recognize. And I'm sending that right now. Oh my gosh. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's another. Like, this is from the same issue, but it's got just
That's
more
better.
definition. Like
Yeah.
Thor is very much more defined and harder colors and lines. It's still got the chalky look on either side of him.
Yeah,
But-
I don't mind the chalky look. I think on that full page, the full page splash, it just a lot.
Yeah, and it clashes.
In the panel, I think it actually looks pretty good in terms of focus and like balance of color.
So anyway, I'm glad it ended after issue 4. It went back to more regular Thor art that was common through the whole run. The story for the first 4 issues were hard to follow too. Kind of, it was trying to make a twist, but it would intentionally cut the story so that you didn't know what they were about to do, so that when they did it, it was
That's annoying.
a huge twist. So it's like, what did I just miss? The only good thing I had to say about the first 4 issues, which was when I wrote the review and then read the 5 remaining issues, was that this Thor run made me realize just how kick ass Hela could/should have been in the Thor movie, and especially played by Cate Blanchett, like an incredible actress with great acting ability, could not make the character what she should have been through poor writing. Colin just pulled out lotion on camera, and I'm very uncomfortable because I was just talking about Cate Blanchett.
Sour watermelon squeeze candy.
That is the most childish thing I think I've seen you do in my life.
Dude,
That's impressive.
kids are just crackheads. Like, this is supposed to be candy for a kid, and it looks like a lotion bottle. Kids are cracked. Woo!
Yeah, they are.
So Colin didn't use a point, and I watched one other thing that I would like to mention.
Full send.
Cool. So I watched Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight, which is a Polish horror movie,
Polish. Oh.
but kind of a comedy too. Oh my gosh, leave the lotion alone.
I'm getting excited.
Not much to write home about. It's pretty typical horror movie. Yeah, it starts out by killing the 2 people committing one of the horror movie sins. So
Ooh.
you kind of it doesn't do anything new.
So
I don't-
horror movie sins, you mean either going off alone, doing the do,
Drinking.
drinking, because then all those will get you killed first.
Or doing drugs.
Eh.
Yeah. They kind of don't care about that.
They don't know. Slashers don't care about drugs.
So
They just care about the do.
drinking.
That's just a thing. Like, I don't understand where these tropes came from. I don't understand it, but you can't say that it's not a thing because
Catholics.
it's very much so a thing.
According
So I
to
think-
Scream,
Pretty.
the 3 horror movie rules are you cannot do the do, you cannot drink or do drugs, and you cannot say, I'll be right back, hello, or who's there.
Hello?
Yep, I remember seeing that. I was going to
I
do that, but I was going to do the
freaking love that
true
movie.
tropes, like Spencer said.
Hello? Who's
So-
there?
I'll be right
Yes.
back, guys.
Oh
It
boy.
is-
I'll be right back.
Colin's gonna
Two-
die.
2 people going off alone and then doing the do. So they committed 2 sins.
Okay, let's go, Spencer. Come on,
Oh
let's
boy.
go. We're going.
What the frig?
I think Colin just wants to die.
You think?
Yeah, it's nothing special. Whoever wrote that headline that said it's the hottest horror movie on Netflix, you're stupid.
They were paid.
By Disney to badmouth DC films, clearly.
Of course.
So,
Wait. Oh, we know we have the other thing. We have the fun thing.
oh, that's right. Hang on, let me pull it up.
Jamie, can you pull that up?
Jamie, pull it up, you retard. You don't have enough time
Uh,
for this.
A radio show that I grew up with that I would be ashamed to say I grew up with.
Adventures in Odyssey.
No.
Damn it.
Their sound producer's name was Cookie. I think that should be our inside joke because nobody knows who does the editing. We should all just be like, Cookie, can you pull that up for me, please?
Yeah, can we have a fake editor?
I feel like
Exactly.
I've definitely mentioned Jacob editing before, and it is
Yeah,
on
you
it's on the website, so that joke might not work.
Well,
No, we can still
people
say
forget. So, yeah,
just do-
I think
let's just
from
still
now
say
on,
it.
we should just say Cookie.
Disney, please don't copyright strike us.
That's the
Right?
first thing that runs through my mind every Friday morning when I wake up.
Yes.
It's like the first thing. It's
That
like,
is my alarm on Fridays.
Nice.
should be.
Yes. So yes, we have.
I realized while doing this for the show that I haven't seen the after episode concept art, and that really pissed me off this week. I was like, that was my favorite part of the entire show last season.
Jacob,
and I'm
it's still
freaking
running.
Missing it.
It's still running.
Yeah, no,
I can hear it. It's
but it's
infuriating.
so good.
Yes. I am very okay with Ludwig Göransson doing Star Wars music forever. Please do.
Of course.
New John Williams, all hail.
Yeah, dude. No joke.
Yeah, so we have
As I was
season 2,
saying-
episode 5, The Jedi. Which the title kind of lies because she's not a Jedi, but anyway.
We have 2 to do this week. The one before that as well.
Oh yeah, because you guys didn't talk about episode 4.
Yeah, we didn't
Does everyone
talk
remember what
about
episode 4 was
anything
called?
important.
Of course you didn't.
I don't know.
Episode 4, that was the heist one. Not really heist.
Yeah, the heist.
Yeah. Okay, Jacob, thoughts on episode 4? Go.
Being 2 or 3 weeks later, they have edited out Jeans Guy.
That
is-
sucks.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, I wish they would have kept that.
So for people who don't know, there was a member of the cast caught on camera as the Mandalorian and crew are clearing hallways out, and all you can see are the dude's jeans on the side of the screen. Well, that's all you could see for about a week, and then Emperor Disney went back and digitally altered it, so you can no longer see Jeans Guy. And the
Jeans are
internet
no
is
longer
pissed.
canon to Star Wars.
I think Reddit needs to start a hashtag bring back Jeans Guy.
Release the denim cut.
That was good. I think the most notable thing about that episode was
Macaroons.
boobs.
What?
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. So Baby Yoda goes to school, eats some macaroons, and we get Denim Guy.
So
They
And Carl Weathers
released-
directed this episode, and I thought that was actually pretty solid work.
after this
they
episode, sorry, Jacob, you
Released
go.
the recipe for the macaroons, by the way.
Oh, of course they did.
Oh, they did?
Monetization.
So right after that episode, I went to our local bakery and bought
Nice.
4 of each macaroons that they had.
Macaroons are amazing.
And I just binged those and watched the episode over again.
Also, macaroons are now canon to Star Wars, I guess.
I'm so happy. I get so hungry when I watch Star Wars now. Because of Baby Yoda. Not because of the child.
I just drink blue milk.
I love
I make blue milk, and I have Tatooine toast, which is peanut butter made into dunes, and then you sprinkle it with some cinnamon so it looks like the dunes of Tatooine.
I'm doing that we're doing that right after this podcast.
Yes.
We're having blue milk too because I have almond milk.
Nice. That is what you have to do. You have to make it. It needs to taste a little different. You just got to throw some blue in there. Boom, done.
It's unsweetened.
It tastes better. Anyways, I thought the directing was actually pretty solid in this, being done by a first-time director who's also acting in it.
Kind of annoying me, but I don't remember why. I think the gags were kind of lame and they stayed on them too long, if I remember right. I don't know. I would have to watch it again. It's been a while, but I do remember
action was cut a little too much, but that's more of an editor's choice, I guess.
I liked that Baby Yoda was put into school.
That was so freaking
And Mando's like, the child goes with me. The child goes with me, just like every other Presbyterian parent.
And then they're like, no, the kid needs to go to school, man. Just let the kid chill. And he steals a boy's macaroons. Like, what? The kid is vicious.
I love
the
him.
child is kind of an asshole. He's learning from his father.
I love it.
Something really kind of notable. We see Giancarlo Esposito's character, whose name is eluding me right now. Crud.
That's not his name.
Thank you. My brain was slipping. Moff Gideon, and also reintroducing the some Death Troopers. That's cool.
They remind me of British people for some reason.
That's really weird, but okay. See, that's the weird thing, because
that's how they walk, probably.
That's weird. Because Death Troopers were like soft canonized when Rogue One came out, because you have the Black Purge Troopers. But it's only in visuals. There's nothing about them that are like the old Legends Dark Troopers. I might be getting the names reversed. My apologies. But like the new ones are like very clearly
Dark
technology / we're shoving midichlorians in these babies.
Yep. Because they're tall as
I can't believe they're actually going back to doing midichlorian stuff. Like the balls of just screw it. We're gonna utilize the thing everybody hates and we're gonna make it good. Deal with it. That's pretty crazy.
I like it. I'm loving it.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
So, back to boobs.
Oh my gosh. Stop.
Everybody's up in arms about the shorter head tails on Ahsoka in episode 5, and it just makes sense. Like, you're going to have a fight scene. You don't want head tails in the way. Yeah. Just let them be a little bit shorter.
But they're significantly shorter.
Yeah, but literally every cast member's like, guys, we can't have them down to like her freaking knees. We needed them to be shorter.
I'm talking about the ones on top.
No, the ones on top are almost identical. The ones on
bottom, they're not. No, they're not. The ones on bottom are identical. The ones on top are not.
No.
The ones on top are so short compared to the ones in Rebels.
That's because that's a stylistic difference. That's not what they are like canonically.
Canonically, they are like that.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Because as they get older, they get bigger.
I know, but the bottom ones get longer. That's what happened during the show. During the Clone Wars, they got longer.
Yeah, so
and now they're shorter. I mean, a little, but not like that.
I didn't even notice the bottom. I thought everyone was talking about the top tendrils.
No, the top ones are very, very close. That's just like
they're very, very short compared to the Rebels.
That's proportions of switching to live action.
No, it's not, because, oh my word, because others of her race have taller ones. Now, backtrack. I'm fine with both short tendrils on the top and bottom. I'm fine because I understand action scenes. But what I'm arguing with you about is that they're supposed to be tall like Rebels.
So Rebels, that's 1000% a style thing, because most of the members of her species don't have them that big, versus that's near the end of the Clone Wars. They're getting longer, then they are longer, and then in freaking The Mandalorian, they're up to like mid chest. They got shorter primarily on the bottom end. That's style. That's not literally what her anatomy is. That's like saying that lightsabers are thin for a couple of years because in Rebels they're really thin.
That's obviously style, but like proportions of body. That's not. With that,
Anyway.
no, that's not because her species has tall tendrils on the top too.
All right, we beat this one to death. So what else about this episode was great?
His name Grogu.
Oh yes,
I love that he has a name.
Loki. I do like it.
Instead of calling him Baby Yoda or the child, now we can call him Grogu, and that he was in episode 3, but like escaped. Anakin's looking for him in episode 3. He's like,
You can't find me. I'm in the vents eating macarons.
There was a piece of fan art that had someone who just photoshopped him hiding in the the main council chambers while Anakin is slaughtering children. It's freaking hilarious. And there's also some fan theory that has zero weight that it's like, what if Anakin was the one who saved him? Like, bro, shut the fuck up. That makes no sense. Stop.
that makes no sense.
Please don't make stupid theories like that. Anyways,
So the fight scene at the end was
so
freaking
good.
awesome.
The pure Beskar spear, I loved that. I loved that added to the story. That was so good.
I really like how, particularly in this episode, they are leaning further into the samurai elements than they are the Western
Yes.
elements. They are obviously both connected, interlinked, but they're leaning like very clearly. They're like, yeah, in case you guys forgot, we're going to have an actress who is of some form of Asian descent wearing Asian-styled robes, and we're going to have it be in like a little mini palace that has bonsai tree. Like, yeah, it's samurai.
Isn't she
inspired.
related to Bruce Lee?
Potentially, I don't remember.
I'm
anything
pretty
about
sure
that.
she is.
She might be.
Anyway,
So can we talk about how good the lightsabers look?
they're so good. Live action white lightsabers. I never thought I would love white lightsabers so much.
I like how short they are. Like
Yes.
they're just like a couple inches shorter than they normally are, but it fits with the length that they were in Rebels.
Yep.
They don't look short in Rebels because they're thinner.
Yep.
So like proportionally they look the same as they were. But like, oh, it's so good.
I think I might change my lightsaber color to white just because of that, dude.
Wow. I really liked it when she ignited them right next to, like, right in front of each other. That was so fucking weird.
Yeah, because she did that in Rebels.
Yeah, I know, but like it was slightly different than, it wasn't just an homage. It was like, wait a minute, something's going on there, and I can't figure out what the fuck it is.
Yeah,
But-
it's that's pretty cool though. But on the subject of lightsabers, what's your lightsaber color, guys? Starting with Jacob.
Green.
What?
Yep.
So you're a consular.
Interesting.
I'm a what?
A consular.
Jacob likes using the Force.
You like using the Force more than your lightsaber.
Jacob doesn't understand lightsaber colors, is what I'm gleaning from this.
Oh,
I have no idea.
What are
I
you,
thought it was just a
peasant?
color thing.
bro, there's a color. Oh my word. So okay, so from what you like green, but what is your color?
I think he might actually be green now that I think about it. I think that might be pretty solid.
So what is your color then?
Mine
don't know,
flips
man.
between purple and yellow.
Okay, so based off of what you would be,
I know, that's what I mean. Is
What
those,
are you?
Those are
Yes.
the two ones that I get most frequently. Either means I utilize a lot of my dark energy, but I'm still using it for solid purposes, or I like being alone and I would prefer working undercover and protecting the Jedi Order secretly and guarding books, which is pretty base.
I feel like you'd be more yellow.
Yeah.
Okay, you'd guard books. So, but what would you choose?
One of those two.
Okay. So mine goes between purple and blue.
Yeah.
I think my blue would be a very light blue.
Oh yeah, got that sexy like episode 4 blue.
Yes, it would be
Oh,
episode 4 blue.
so sexy.
My favorite one, and the purple would be more of a pink than purple. Okay, so based off of like what I would be, purple or blue, but
Mhm.
what I'd choose between 3. Honestly, it's hard to choose. It depends on my mood. So it's like, that episode 4 blue.
Mhm.
It's like a pink lightsaber, like magenta,
Mm,
and then white.
mm.
Because I always connected more with gray Jedis, where they're just like, I'm not a part of you guys, but I am a part of you, but cooler.
That's a
Like
lot of what,
pretentious as
that's yeah. That's
Which I
what a lot
am.
of the yellow is. Was I like that it became, because obviously the meanings are not canonical exactly in current canon. They're soft there. Like you can read into it if you want to. But it is mostly still legend stuff, which basically everybody still acknowledges to an extent. But like the yellow ones were used by the Sentinels, which are like kind of a balance between using the Force and doing stuff.
Yep.
But they would usually be a lot more like undercover. They go do stuff. Like a lot of people didn't even realize that, like a lot of people in the Order didn't even know they existed.
Yep.
And also they're the Temple Guards, who are awesome. Except that's not like their own personal lightsaber. It's passed around like when you're on shift, which is so weird, but I like it.
Yeah.
So it has like a weird variety of uses, and then now with with Rey, it continues the theme of like safeguarding like the last remnants of
religion of the Jedi,
right?
Yeah.
Like
because she has the books,
right?
Oh, okay. I love the books. I love seeing the books.
Star Wars has real paper, guys.
Yes.
I remember back when that was like really big. It's like, oh my gosh, there are real books in Star Wars. What?
Well, yeah. Off.
So you guys are gonna have to send me the freaking BuzzFeed test to find out what color lightsaber I am.
I will send you the quality tests later.
He will.
Cool.
I know all of them.
So-
Send me that test too, because I want to take it again.
Yes. So this might be my favorite episode of The Mandalorian. Just saying.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
definitely.
think
By
on the
far.
whole, I think it's more. There are just so many highlights, and I really, really like how well Rosario Dawson did with the role. She fit the mannerisms so well, but just being that little bit older felt very good.
Oh, I was so pissed off when she's like, I can't train this child. I'm like, oh my, you're every single Jedi ever. I can't train this child. Okay, off, Luke.
But also, Ahsoka in mommy mode. Am down. Anyways.
I felt a little shortchanged when she was like, all right, bye, have fun out
Me too.
in the solar
Really?
system. And then the news has been coming out with rumors of her getting her own show. And I'm like, please.
Yeah,
I would be so down.
See, that's been a rumor of her and potentially like her and Bo getting their own series. But the more substantiated stuff that's been around longer is that there will be a sequel to Rebels, which will be, Ahsoka going on that quest to find Ezra and Thrawn after the end of Rebels. Her and Sabine. So like this is filling in the gap between where she left off. It's just making sure we know where she's going, because this isn't really any new information. Wow, she's looking for Thrawn. That's what we assumed she was doing anyway.
So I only the only Jedi I care about watching now is Ahsoka. I don't really care about any other Jedi stories right now. I just want Ahsoka.
Yeah, but wait 3 seconds until I tell you that the Obi-Wan show is going to be starting filming in like 2 weeks.
I meant new Jedis, okay?
I was about to say, you can't forget about the desired husband, Obi-Wan.
Of course. Our Lord and Savior, Wide Boy Jesus.
Yes.
So, segueing from Jesus, let's take some time to talk about Hellboy Omnibus #1, written by Mike Mignola.
And art by Mike Mignola.
And story written by Mike Mignola.
Everything by Mike Mignola.
Colin, why don't you just go for it?
Okay, so my favorite comic book character ever, Hellboy, written, drawn, story, everything by Mike Mignola, at least for a couple of them. So this takes place. The story is about a young man, half demon, half human, dealing with his existential crisis of learning his past and his destined future. His past of being the son of Prince of Hell, who is the brother of Satan, and his mother, who is a renounced witch and tried to be a Catholic lady, but didn't work.
She's a witch!
And he learned of his future of ruling hell and bringing about the apocalypse and refusing this destiny. So, you good? Dude, you can't take the sour, can you?
No, it just tastes like shit.
Okay.
Which story do you like more out of the ones in this omnibus?
I watched Hellboy before. I watched the first 2 movies before I even saw this, read this book.
Shame on you.
And actually, I read the end of Hellboy before I read the first one by accident. I read Hellboy in Hell, Omnibus 4.
Boy got a big brain.
And I thought we were going to see Brutenholm a lot more. He dies in like the first or second page.
Genuinely, my biggest complaint with the entirety of this book is he's just barely there. It's like, oh, he has such a big impact. Why?
Yeah,
They're never really shown. Like, we're shown some stuff in the short stories, pancakes. But like, it's just, yes, my father figure who raised me and found me is dead. Oh no, moving on. It's like
trying to discover
what sort of revelation is this? There's not a lot of driving motivation behind that. It's not set up very much.
It's because It's because Mike's learning how to write correctly.
Yeah, it really is.
Basically, this is like him learning how to write, but accidentally making one of the most iconic characters in comic history.
Don't you hate when you just do that, just on accident, you just shit out like the best thing ever?
Yeah, he just wanted money. Like Stan Lee just wanted money, created Marvel.
Yeah.
The story is obviously I find really good. I just was confused on a lot of things when I first read it. But reading the second time, I'm like, yeah, I guess this works and all that.
I believe it's the third story in the first omnibus. The one that involves the werewolves. I can't remember the name. Yeah, pull the book over.
That one is so good. That's my favorite.
That's my favorite out of this omnibus.
I would have to agree with you on that.
Get that thing over here so I can smell it.
I haven't smelled it in a while. Give me a whiff. It's so good. There's so many shadows.
Why don't we read off the table of contents and say which stories are in this omnibus? So we can
because they're out of order.
ourselves.
Okay, so the stories and art by Mike Mignola, of course, and the stories are Seed of Destruction, The Wolves of St. August, The Chained Coffin, Wake the Devil, and Almost Colossus.
So the one I didn't like, to be honest, was friggin'
Almost
the
Colossus.
Chained Coffin.
Really?
It's really cool in concept, and I enjoy how much like more information we have. But it's like a glorified flashback only for exposition. The whole story is basically Hellboy standing in a graveyard talking to basically hallucinations for like the whole thing. It's
What's wrong with that?
That's
Badass.
I mean,
Two?
like the information is good and it's cool. Like it's good backstory. It's just as the third story, it's just exposition dump.
That one bugged me too because it explains. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the wolves. The wolves one bugged me because it says that it was a bunch of people found in front of an altar worshiping a crucifix with Satan on it, or something like that. And the visitor that finds them is like, "What are you doing?" and tries to tear it all down. And that's how they became werewolves or something. But it shows the crucifix quite often in the story, and I don't see how it is Satan on the crucifix. It kind of looks like a traditional old crucifix. So I don't know if it's a detail I'm
Wolves in
missing
August.
or a detail that they missed.
That's an interesting point. I just really liked the atmosphere of that story in particular.
Yep.
So I had read through some of this when I was younger, just here and there. I watched the movies, and then what was it, like a year and a half ago, 2 years maybe?
Satan.
Right when I first started working the job I'm at now, Colin lent me all the omnibuses, and I was just plowing through them while I was at work because I was working a lot of late shifts. And I just texted him like the whole time I was reading, just like, "Oh, that thing's really cool. Oh, look at this. Oh, that panel's so good." It was pretty funny.
That's what I was saying.
No, that was me talking to you. And then it was like, in particular, that story, just it's dripping in atmosphere. And I always like werewolf stories. That's just me.
I think his panels, they're so dynamic with how he always makes his characters move in either awkward or dynamic ways, which makes me really happy because I love the awkward body movements because it reminds me of Renaissance and
Yes.
Boeck.
Yeah.
Boeck.
I was going to say in that sense, like the way he does action vaguely reminds me of how anime does it. And that's just my familiarity with it. But it has that very, very different poses between shots, and you're putting together everything else that's going on. The wolves freak me the hell out, and I like it.
So something that I was going to say about the artwork is that, obviously it uses a lot of shadows and it's pretty dark to look at anyway, but I think there's some weird black magic on the artwork because it is perfect for reading this book or this storyline in bed with like a poor light.
Yes.
Like the poor lighting adds to the shadows and almost kind of makes it 3D. So
I can see what you mean by that, actually. I haven't read a book under the covers in a long time. I should do that.
well, not exactly under the covers, but it's like I have a little lamp next to my bed, but it's like with the fold of the book, it creates shadows, and it's like, ooh.
Oh, One thing I do love is how Mike does Hellboy's narration, where it's his like is what's the word? Why am I forgetting the word? His report on his missions.
Yes.
And that doesn't last for long. That goes into book 2, but
Yeah.
I do enjoy that quite a lot.
Yeah, it's a good way to incorporate voiceover.
Mm-hmm.
The art is just so good. Can I say that Mike kind of sucks at drawing women though? He gets better at it later, and like
Me too. Me too.
like it's clearly it fits in with his style, and it's not, he's not trying to make everybody look really good, but like, there's some solid looking chaps here and there. I'm like, that's a good looking dude. Basically all of his women just look really ugly.
Except for his new ones. That's like his witches that he drew.
Yeah, okay, the witches are really sexy, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
That's the point, very clearly. He has definitely gotten better in that aspect.
Oh yeah, especially like once I think going to book 2, he probably gets better at drawing females. But
The mermaids are kind of 50-50.
when I think about it, when you say that, is because I think it's funny because when there's an interview that he did, and he's like, yeah, so when I started drawing comics, I was like, yeah, let's think about things I'm good at drawing, and he's like, I'm good at rocks, and that's like the first thing he said. I'm good at rocks because he thinks he's the worst thing ever, and I'm like, I relate to you so much.
He is really good at rocks, and
he's
almost
so good at
everything,
statues.
Almost everything feels like a rock and or statue.
Yeah, he made Hellboy feel very rocky, which that's such a ugly woman.
Yeah, it's a bit rough.
I'm taking that sound out of context. I lent Omnibus 1 to a coworker today, and I was like, listen, dude, this is his first time. He's just recently gotten into comics, and I'm like,
Hellboy virgin.
You need to stop and smell the roses because you can burn through this book in an hour. And I've been there, I've done it, but you need to like stop, make yourself stop and look at the artwork because it just burns by so fast. So
yeah,
I warned
I
him.
can agree with that because I read all of 3 in one day while I was at school because I had nothing to do, and I had to take breaks in between that and take like little naps, and I think I enjoyed it way more than I did the other 2 because I did that.
I really do, like, as a whole, to Mike Mignola, this obviously is the start of it. I adore the incorporation of so many different types of mythology,
especially his Norse mythology,
we're gonna
and
use
his
some
Russian,
right?
His the Irish, Scottish
sounds more Irish, but yeah, like that, how he incorporates all of that and then saves a lot of the like South American and even North American and like African cultures for a lot of the short stories.
Yeah, he does.
It just feels right, where it's like, if theoretically parts of these mythologies are more important, because obviously they're all true to an extent, the ones that are more important to the narrative I'm telling are the ones I'm going to do, and then I will leave the other ones for other people. So it feels like there is the narrative of like how creation works and how all the different cultures work together. It feels like that's laid at its foundation because he only utilizes some of them.
Yeah.
And then the other ones he just kind of leaves be. Very sexy book, much like.
I want to hear more from Jacob. You got any more thoughts on it?
Almost Colossus kind of drags.
Yeah,
I can agree with
the
that.
last story of the book, besides the little hidden one in the extras, it just takes a while. It doesn't really add much. It just drags. There's a lot of reading. It's kind of a dumb monster at the end.
Yeah.
So kind of a stinker to end the book on.
It's kind of how I felt about a lot of his short stories.
That's fair. I really like how the first book is so much more pulp compared to the other ones. Like, obviously Hellboy is primarily inspired by pulp heroes and stuff like that,
with his horns looking like goggles.
Yeah, like the actual Lobster Johnsons of the real world, that sort of stuff. But then the first book feels so much closer to that compared to the other ones, where it just natural story progression. Book, I'd say Omnibus 3 in particular, dives so deep into the mythology, and he's going to hell in, Omnibus 4 and like going to different dimensions and weird places. And then in the first Omnibus, it's like, I'm just investigating some Nazis and killing werewolves. So what are you going to do about it?
I think
the first main issue, not the short story, I'm trying to think of the name of it.
Seed of Destruction?
Yeah, that's the one. So Seed of Destruction is pretty big in events that are relative to Hellboy's life. And then there's a couple short stories in between, and it almost I was wondering if like Mike had writer's block after that because it was so big, and then Wake the Devil comes along and it arguably matches or tops it in big events. Like it's really good.
So I can
In that
answer
regard.
that actually.
Oh, big brain.
So how Mike did this was he had points in his story where he wanted to touch, but he wasn't keen. He didn't want to like get there immediately. So what he was like was he was writing his story, and then he had an idea for something else that could go in between. He's like, "Yeah, we'll go touch on that." And he's
Cool.
like, "It didn't matter where I went. I knew I was going to end up at this certain point eventually."
Nice.
So it wasn't really writer's block. He was just writing what he wanted to write, and they gave him so much freedom that almost I guarantee that every artist / comic book artist writer is jealous of.
Oh, 100%. He still has arguably the best relationship with the publisher than anybody else. They're like, you want to check in on the other books in your universe? He's like, okay, sure, I'll check in on my. Oh, you want to write an issue here? Okay, I'll draw like one of them.
Yeah, sure. He lives like an infant, and I'm jealous.
A little bit, yeah. It's like, oh, you want to check in on this stuff? Yeah, sure, we'll do that.
That's a quote from him too.
Yeah, I'll send in my approval for that. Yeah, you guys can do that if you want. And then, during the entirety of it being published, Dark Horse is like, yeah, just publish it when it's done. For like 25 years until the narrative semi-recently wrapped up in like, what was it, like 2010, 2012? 17? It was that late? Jeez, she's a pro. Thought it was a little bit before. Anyway,
As the artwork on the Omnibus 3 is 2017.
yeah, it's true. I think that's the republishing of the omnibuses, but it was fairly. It's been going on for so long.
Yeah, no, it's fairly recent. Probably
And
2012.
there were years where he didn't put out anything.
Yeah,
just all like 3-4 year breaks. He was like, "Oh yeah, I got a story out. Oh yeah, we'll publish that for you."
Yeah,
That's
dude.
insane.
One thing, I'm sorry to backtrack, but like one thing that bothered me the most about the comic was because I watched the movies first, and the biggest thing that he keeps with him is his gun, right?
No.
He loses his gun in the second like storyline of the first book. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? And he's like, I'm better with swords anyway. I'm like, what the? Why was I lied to in the movies?
We were all lied to. It's okay.
It's okay, but the movies are still arguably
The
amazing.
BPRD is not like the MIB.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
The
okay.
BPRD kind of sucks.
They really do.
Dude, they're so bad at their job.
All right. So, anything
Hellboy
else
circle
before
jerk over until next week.
That's what I'm thinking.
Cool. So Patreon shout out. Thanks to Business Casual. We know your real name, but that's okay. We won't use it. We will continue using your excellent username. Jacob, what are you wearing for this Business Casual event?
I'm still wearing my work clothes. I literally raced home and turned this on, and I haven't been able to relax after work yet. So that's why I'm kind of trying to hurry this up.
Oh, fine. Go
I'm
relax.
hungry.
He's a hungry boy.
I'm also hungry, so that's fair.
Yeah, understandable.
Colin is naked, as always.
Of course, I'm about to piss my pants.
Oh, okay. You don't have pants on, though.
I'm about to piss on this floor.
Okay.
He's about
Yeah.
to wet his seat.
I'm gonna piss in your pants.
Oh, dear Lord. Anyways, so thanks to Business Casual for being awesome. You
Yep.
literally keep the lights on. Let us know. At the moment, we still don't know what you want for your art commissions. So if you do hear this and still haven't decided, please do let us know. Otherwise, we will be in contact. We do have an idea. We'll be in touch about that later.
Oh, I want to talk about it.
Fine, Jacob, spill.
I really want Colin to draw last week's talk about the three of us and what superheroes we would be in real life. Motormouth, Sir Cerebrum, and Oculus.
Yep, it was Oculus. Now that
So I want to see it on paper so badly.
that'd be so cool. I think I look really cool.
Well, Jacob, if you want to become a patron at our $5 tier, you can get that commission for yourself.
So if I give myself $5, I get free art.
Yes.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, so we have a Patreon, obviously. You can go check that out at patreon.com/dimecomicbros. We have lots of different tiers. Art commissions, topic voting, name shoutouts.
Stickers.
Get access to every episode a day early.
Stickers.
Also, yes, stickers included for everyone. And something I did, now I'm just going to mention it to you guys. Every time we update our sticker design, I think we should send out the new one to everybody that's still a patron, just because.
Yep.
Okay, cool. You can visit our website at dimecomicbros.podbean.com. And obviously, you can check us out on whatever platform you're listening on. We are also available on YouTube. So wherever you are, please give us a like, thumbs up, leave a comment.
A review.
Interaction is good. We appreciate it. It's all taken into consideration. You can also send us an email directly if you are old-fashioned that way, or you want to send us lots of dank memes or complaints at dimecomicbros@gmail.com. Follow our social medias, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Give us many followers. I want to have clout.
That'd be nice. If you've made it this far into the podcast, please comment Mommy Milkers.
No.
No.
Colin, stop.
What should it be?
No.
Yeah, no, it should be something. It's cool that they like, I don't know, comment.
We'll discuss this later.
Comment.
My word.
Comment with
I'll moan very loudly.
name of your favorite story from Hellboy Omnibus 1. Either freak, I forgot the first one again.
Seed of Destruction.
Thank you. Seed of
Saint
Destruction.
Augustine.
Wolves of Saint August. Wake the Devil. Almost Colossus.
The chained
or
coffin.
The Chained Coffin. So comment with your favorite issue from this book.
Your Hellboy star sign is what we're actually saying. We can tell a lot about you by your favorite story.
Next week, we're talking Hellboy Volume 2.
Yes.
Yep.
Had a thought,
Ooh.
and now it's gone. Hang on.
That's the story of your life.
Wait for it.
Look at
Yeah, it
him.
is, isn't it?
Not gonna.
I'm
read the
telling
whole
you,
thing.
I'm gonna implement a swear jar just so Colin can calm down a little bit.
No.
However,
that's fair.
I do like the retard energy. Keep it
Thank
up.
you.
He does usually bring it.
So for the B-roll, Colin and Spencer have gone to the bathroom together, and it's a one-holer. So our audience can figure out how that works.
What's a one hole?
Yes.
You're a one-hole.
That's what you think. Plot twist, I have no holes.
Then what are you speaking out of right now?
My ass.
We all
There's like 3 of them in there.
Did you eat them all?
mostly
3 of them.
Did you eat them all, you badass? Here, have the
That's the
rest.
one who's fat with a PH.
Oh! At least mine's sexy.
It's got a PH.
Mm-hmm.
That's not sexy.
I bet you
Got a
guys have
PH
competitions. How far you can reach your dinky
a fat-
down the
No,
Pringles
I mean a
tube.
fat.
They're not
fat-
listening
never
to
mind.
me.
You didn't
This
get
is
it.
great stuff.
You're stupid.
I'm sorry, Jacob. What?
I said, I bet you two hold competitions who can stick their dinky further down the Pringles tube.
You'd win.
Why would you know that?
In your penis.
What?
Wait a minute.
What?
I could probably fill it up more though.
Why the f you know that?
I could probably fill it, but you'd be able to touch the end of it.
Why do you think you know these things?
Cause proportion. Unless if you're disproportional and you got a small peen.
Bitch, I got 30-inch legs, but I'm 6 foot. I'm not proportionate.
I meant his dick.
How many inches is the dick?
Yeah, how many inches you got?
Calling you.
The day, am I
Don't you
right?
love me?
I don't know how big your dick is, and I'm not asking.
I'll tell you if you tell me. I'll tell you my size if you tell me yours.
Oh my god.
And then Jacob, since he's here, and he has to tell me his.
Jacob just wins. Just 100%.
I feel like Jacob is packing. He's got like a slong that's hanging so low, like lower than his kneecaps.
I'm the only one here without a girlfriend, so you know that I'm horny.
Yeah,
that
dude, he's
gives
probably
me
got,
extra horny power.
Yeah, you got extra horny power. So that means he's got a longer dick.
True
That
story.
is true. But that means I would still beat you because I have to contain my horny for longer.
Yes, of course.
This is the weirdest conversation we've had.
Well, depends. Because
The weirdest one we've
I'm not going to
recorded.
get into it.
Weirdest one we've recorded, sweetie. So you remember when I've mentioned multiple times that comic books are a good chastity belt? I'm going to buy some cheap issues and make a chastity belt.
Oh my gosh, I would love that.
I'm going to do that.
I would love that.
I'm gonna do it. It's being recorded. I want that in the extras. Make sure I have that on public record. I will do that.
A chastity belt that people can win if we do a prize thing.
If you give me an omnibus, that thing's busting open.
He is.
Oh, I walked into that one.
It's not the only thing you walked into. Never mind.
That one didn't
Fucking
land.
pointed.
You should
That's
have
worth
left it.
cutting.
No, I like the awkward joke.
Still have your foreskin? Well, we all have our own foreskin.
Oh my
still.
god.
I got it like under my bed, and like this little container.
What the?
Yeah, that's what we use to wrap. That's what you use the foreskin that got cut off of you when you're a kid or when you're a child, and you wrap it around your engagement ring when you get married, and you're like, hey, open it up, and they open it up like it's a present. Yeah.
What the f is wrong with you?
What, you don't do that? Is that just my
No.
family?
Apparently.
Damn.
I want to move further away from you now.
Want my foreskin?
No. Are you proposing right now?
I mean, I can.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I want to see the ring.
Oh.
Can I be best man?
Of course.
Yes.
But who's best man?
Yes.
Both.
Okay.
I'll make both. I'll make 2 speeches.
All of that needs to get cut. My word.
No.
No
don't talk
way,
about my
that's
foreskin.
staying
How about
in.
we don't talk about
It's
foreskin?
staying in. It's staying in.
Oh my word.
Is it? Is it staying in?
He'll figure that out later.
I'm gonna try.
Yes. So
But that is very
about
weird.
something.
That's only your family.
Yep.
I had to let my brother finish digging around in the toy box.
Yeah.
Would you keep it down over there? Freaking, I got a heckler couch tonight.